Okay, my PK is about interracial marriage, and my name is Natalie Tyler. So before Jim Crow, there was the Reconstruction period, where there was still a lot of racism because of the Civil War and slavery, which had just ended. In 1877, there was the Compromise of 1877, where they agreed that if the progressive president could win, he had to take Northern troops out of the South. And as soon as that happened, the racists in the South were free to do whatever they wanted. Racists did not want interracial marriage because it would lead to interracial children, which they felt would bring down the superiority of whites. There was lots of racist propaganda like these posters, which not only portray the black people as caricatures, which dehumanizes them, but also shames white people, saying how they are gross for wanting to marry who they love. Loving v. Virginia was the case that struck down restrictions on interracial marriage. Mildred and Richard Lovings were a white man and black woman who got married in Washington, D.C., where interracial marriage was legal, but lived in Virginia, where there was miscegenation, meaning anti-interracial marriage laws. In the middle of the night, they were woken up and arrested for being unlawful, but instead of jailed, the judge changed their punishment to being exiled from Virginia for a year. They felt that this was wrong, and so they took their case to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court voted 9-0 and deemed it unconstitutional to restrict marriage based on the 14th Amendment in 1967. A quote from their decision is, "The freedom to marry has long been recognized as one of the vital personal rights essential to the orderly pursuit of happiness by free men." This case set a precedent for interracial marriage in the future. These are my parents, so my mom's Chinese and my dad's white. So if it wasn't for interracial marriage being legal, I might have never been born. Even though this case was in 1967, there were still lots of anti-interracial marriage people. For example, Alabama didn't remove anti-miscegenation statutes from their constitution until the year 2000 and justified it because of states' rights. The lasting impact of Jim Crow laws is that people have a bias, whether implicit or explicit, against black people. Things such as caricatures and portrayal in media cause this. We are conditioned to believe harmful stereotypes about black people, even if we know in our brains that they are not true. Here is a popular pancake company called Aunt Jemima, which comes from old caricatures of Mammy. This conditions people to think of black people as wholesome caretakers, which may not sound like a negative stereotype, but it takes away from the idea that black women are their own people with their own personality. Aunt Jemima is a modern brand that started with the character of Mammy being the face of the company. Since the Black Lives Matter protests in summer of 2020, the brand Aunt Jemima is actually being renamed to the Pearl Milling Company. The effects of these biases show in our judicial system. The same people who justified George Floyd's murder because he allegedly used a counterfeit bill say that Kyle Rittenhouse deserves to walk free, even though he walked into a Black Lives Matter protest with an AR semi-automatic rifle, and then said he was shooting in self-defense when he shot 3 and killed 2. This is the effects of the bias that are in our country that was amplified by the Jim Crow era. Thank you.